Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you some of the commands that you can use to create and update or delete the list in Python. And there are many things that you can do in list, but today I'm only covering few of the things which are very basic. So I have to save my time, I have already made a file and let's open it. So I'm covering around 8-9 things today. I would cover a few more things in future, but these are the most basic things that you have to know about list. These are very basic things. And let's do. Okay. So one of the command that I have used over here, I have never used this command in my previous videos. It is /n and it only tells our software to go to the next line. It's kind of like hitting an enter. And let me comment out this region so we can run this. Okay, here we can see that number one is define a list, that how to define a list. And I have made, so you do not require this print line over here. I wrote it because when you run it, then I can show you for each and every different steps that I have done it. Even you don't require to print this line. It is just for your understanding because I'm trying to explain you. This is the way that you can make a list. I have made two lists here, list 1 and list 2. And you should note that whenever there is a string, so India, Bharat, those all are strings for Python, and that's why they are in the comment section. So this you require this comment, the comma over here. This is list 2, and you can print let's print list or whatever. That's how you should print the list 1 and list 2. So let's run it. Okay, so now it is printing. And to help you understand, because there are some comments, so it may probably create some confusion for you. So I'm removing out. Okay. And okay, let's run it now. Okay, so these are the two lists that have been printed. Okay. Now let's go to a new step, that how to update a list. So this is a good thing. And in list, you can have different kind of elements. If you talk about any other languages, in few languages like C, all the elements in an array. So in Python, list is kind of like similar kind of to array. So in C language, all elements have to be of the same data type, whereas in the list, the data types may be different for each and other elements. And I would show it to you later. Okay. Let me hide it, comment, and run this one. Okay, now we are trying to update a list, and for doing that, first of all, I require to define a list. So I'm also, okay, let me keep everything over here. Now I would also show you. So over here, we need to understand that I'm trying to update a list, and in this list, so list 1, if we talk about list 1, then list 1 has 3 elements. If I say that what is the index value of India, then its index value is 0. The index value of Bharat is 1, and the index value of Hindustan is 2. So when I say that list 1, like this way, list 1 with index value 0, I'm talking about India for the system. And when I say that list 1 index value 0 equal to Akash, then the system will update the value India as Akash. That's what has been done over here in the program number 2. And then I printed the list 1. So if the program is working well, then we should get an output as the first index value, which is 0, that is as Akash, and then Bharat, and then Hindustan. Let's run it. Okay, so this is our first program and it shows the list 1 and list 2, and now we have our second program which shows the new index value over here, new string value, which is Akash, Bharat and Hindustan, right? So that's how it works. Okay, now let's go to the program number 3, the print the length of a list. So how to print the length of a list and what is the length of a list? So when we require to print the length of the list, it is basically how many different elements are there in your list. So if we talk about list 1, which is this one, India, Bharat, Hindustan, and now it is actually Akash, Bharat, Hindustan, then the length is 3. And if we talk about list 2, then the length is 10. So let's run this. We can see that it is telling the length as 10. Use the command print len list name. I'm sorry, this is typing mistake. It should be list name. And so in our case, len list 2, it will give the length of the list number 2, which is 10. Right? Because I have asked for list 2. And let me make this small correction here. Okay. So now it is printing as list name here, and I deliberately put this comment so you can read it when even I'm showing you the compiled screen. Now let's have the program number 4, that how to print a specific element of the list. So we know that currently list 1's 0 index variable, or the value is Akash, and if we want to print it, we can use the command as like list 1, so which is the name of the list, and then the index value which we are referring to, and then just print command like this way. So let's do it. And for that, first I require to uncomment it, and then now I'm running it. Okay, so now number 4, you can see over here that number 4, print list 1 0, and it is Akash. Earlier it was India, but now we updated that one over here in program number 2, so it became Akash. So now it is printing the value in list 1 at index 0, which is Akash. Now let's go to program number 5, print a part of the list. So over here in program number 4, we are printing a specific value or specific element from the list. But in program number 5, we are trying to print a range. Think that in list number 2, we have 10 different values, that is from 1 to 3 up to 10. And if we want to print a specific range, that how can we do it? So over here, we can see that this is a range. This is a print command, print list 2, 0, semicolon 6. When we give the command like this way, it will print the value from the index value 0 to index value 5 and not to the index value 6. So let's try this. Okay, program number 5, it states that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And why did this happen? Because when we talk about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when I said that it will print up to 5, so that 5 is the index value of 6. Let me show you how. So in list 2, the index value of this 1 is 0, index value of this 2 is 1, index value of 3 is 2. In the same way, index value of 6 is 5. So that's why it printed from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, another thing over here is how to concatenate the list. we can do it, and this can be done in many ways. And let's see how we can do it over here. So concatenate means it is basically merge two lists, right? Or we can merge actually many lists over here, but there are different ways, and I would explain some ways over here also. So program number 6. Now you can see that we got the output as this is list 1 and this is list 2, and they both are in a same print line, right? Now concatenation of list method number 2. So I have explained the list method number 2. Print the list multiple times, and okay, you can do it in many ways. You can also do, I don't know why it's not mentioned here, but we can do it in this way also. Like list 3 equal to list 1 plus list 2, and print list 3. And let me remove this printing, or okay, I'll print a new line over here. Print. So it will be separate, and we can see that yes, it's a new line. I'm printing new command, and so it would be easy to understand. Okay, here it is. I think it's not visible, so let me comment out few things which we don't require to print anymore now. And we don't need all this stuff now. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, now we can see this is new command, and that's how we can also print. We can make a new list by merging available list. Okay. Now here let's have the number 7. That how to, if we want to print a list multiple times, how to do it? It's very simple. Let me remove this so we can have, we would not have space problem. So for doing this, let's uncomment the region, and we can see that what I am doing here, that I am only writing like this way. This is our simple print command, print list 1, and as I want to print it for 5 times, I have only multiplied it with 5. So it will print the command for 5 times. Okay. Now we can see here. Okay, let me keep it like this way. Okay, now let's run it so it would not confuse us. Okay, let us print the list multiple times, and that's how you should use the command over here, that list name multiplied by the number of times that you want to print it. So now it has printed for 5 times. Now let's go to number 8, that how to delete the elements. How to delete the elements from list. And I am removing this out because now we don't need it. For deleting the elements, we require, if it's a string, we can write like this way, that list1.remove, and then in the parenthesis we are writing the value which we want to remove. So we do not require to give the index value over here. We can delete it like this way. We can use the command listname.remove, and then in the parenthesis write the value in comma. So now let's try it, and when we will run it, we can again print over here in the list2.remove. I have done 2 things over here. In list 1, I'm removing a string value called Akash, and in the list 2 I'm removing 2 over here, and then I'm printing list 2 also. So we are printing both things, list 1 and list 2 both, and let's see what happens. Okay, so in list 1 now it is only printing the remaining values, Bharat and Hindustan. Akash is removed, and from list 2 1, and then there is no 2. 1 3 4 5 up to 10, there is no 2 here because we also removed the 2 from here. So focus over here that when we use the string we put it in the comma, but when we put the value, or sorry, a number or an integer, we did not use the comma, right? There is another way that we can remove the elements. There are many ways. Another way is when we are deleting some integers, we can also refer them with their index value. Over here we are referring to list 2 and index value 5. So there is some variable, there is some value over there, and then I defined it as a variable that c equal to list 2, a specific value which is at index value 5, and then I'm printing it, and then I deleted it. So why did I print? Because I wanted to see that what value should be removed from here. Let's try to run it. Okay, so we are saying here that what value should be removed from here, and then we deleted it with this command delete. So earlier we used the command list name and dot remove, but now we are using a delete command over here, delete list 2c, and this way we are giving a reference of c, which c is actually list 2 with index value 5, and this has been deleted. Then we printed the list 2, and I have also mentioned a third method over here. Well, you can do you can delete or update the list in many ways in Python. Python is very straightforward, and you can do anything with multiple ways. So I thought, okay, let's make a if condition. So I also did this if condition, that if 1 in list 2, which I know that 1 is there in list 2, 1 is at index number 0, then list 2 dot remove 1, and then I printed list 2. So when we will print this command, the whole program number 9, we should have two things, that we should have the c value which we have printed, that should be removed, and the second thing, the 1 should be also removed from our answer. Let's run it. Okay, we can see that c is printed over here, and then it has been removed. Let me, okay. Okay, now we can see that 1 is removed from here, and the value of c, which was 7, that is also removed from here. Over here, this is the value of the index value, and print c, that was the value of the index value, and at the index value 6, the actual value was 7, and that's why it has been deleted like this way. This 6 is referring to an index value which stores the actual value as 7. And when we use this line, if 1 in list 2, then remove it. That's why it has removed 1 from the answer, and the 7 has been removed from this answer because of this command. This command is deleting the value which is stored at the index value 6, and that value is 7, and let me show you how. When we created this list, we can see that this is index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. That's how this value is deleted. There are many things that you can do in list command and in list, and I will show you some more commands in future. Thank you very much. Have a good day.